Long ago, the forces of darkness called this world their playground. Demons, ghouls, evil spirits, you name it. At one time, they were so numerous, so unbelievably powerful, civilization as we know it almost didn't come into being at all. Then they showed up. Ancient warriors strong enough to drive the demon hordes out and clear the way for mankind. Heroes who stand against the forces of darkness became the stuff of legend. In theory, if you could sift through the wreckage mankind's made of the past few centuries, if you could dig up fragments of that turbulent, pivotal age when the great heroes of old held out against evil and won, maybe we could stand against the forces of darkness that call the human heart their playground. Provided the stories are true.
Activate!
Basic attack spell. Attribute Flame. Range 20. Power level A. Adjusted value 072. Catalyst Nelfa pattern crest form.
Hey, that's our spell!
Yes, but he's from Roland. How could he be using our magic?
Have the stigma.
Stand down! Any spell cast he'll appropriate. Do you travel here as a spy? Have the terms of our treaty expired? Does Roland degrade itself to declare war on the kingdom of Nelfa?
No, we...
That is not our aim.
Thanks, Ferris.
As a spy, Pretty Boy would only be good for ferreting out new clothes.
What? Since when do I...
The truth can be painful, I know.
Well, if I'm just a pretty boy, what does that say about the girl dogging my heels?
Far too much. In your dreams.
She's so adorable! Don't let her pretty face fool you!
Enough! Neutralize them!
Look, believe me, we're not spies. We're just trying to find the location of an ancient relic fabled as...
Fall back! Full retreat!
Listen to me! We're not warmongers! The whole point of our mission is... Why would you do something like that? I was just trying to...
The fewer people who know of our purpose here in Nelfa, the better. Or does the meaning of covert operations elude you? A secret is what we tell one person at a time, not an entire regiment.
Point made! I'll keep my mouth shut.
Good tactic. Get up, Reiner. We're burning daylight.
Life is so unfair. How'd I get myself roped into this?
Don't test me. Drag your feet and I'll leave you to the wolves.
Right behind you!
Excellent.
So, here's what I'm sure is an obvious question.
Oh?
If we're supposed to uncover relics once brandished by heroes who are at best long dead and at worst fictional, why are we here? Stuffing your face with Dongo.
Oh, unbelievable. Why can't Dongo everywhere taste like this? Sweet, succulent, and tender. Just like home.
Well, good for you.
I won't have my sophisticated palate made fun of, boy. Your little thesis on magical relics got us into this. I'm just here to keep you out of trouble. The sooner you get to work, the sooner we both get to go home.
Okay, so... we're at the Nelfa-Roland border right around here. The first relic should be to the southwest. Mountains. Just the pick-me-up we need after a day's hike. Still, according to the Book of Alms... for a nap. That's it. Good night. Wake me up when the landscape changes.
Not to pry, but are you travelers from Roland?
Maybe?
Oh, don't worry. It's true, you'll find no shortage of Roland's foes in this area, but I don't share their view.
Thanks. We appreciate the gesture.
Time was war and strife riddled our kingdom because of Roland's bloodlust. You can't imagine the terrors I've seen. But your latest king changed all that. After the revolution that brought him to power 2 years ago, our lot improved.
Yeah?
The one and only Sion Astal, as bold as he is compassionate. And as just as he is handsome. Even a puffy old crone like me can't help but squeal at such an irresistible charm.
I hate to contradict, but Roland's king is absolute evil. Trust me.
Evil?
Oh yes, that charm is just a facade. His heart is as black as midnight. He has exploited my greatest weakness. And he holds me hostage with Dungo!
Seriously, he may look compassionate, but he'd put your shoulder to the wheel for the tiniest offense. I was one of his most trusted confidants, and now he works me to the bone.
Much as I may be disinclined to, I must agree.
Naturally. I bet he's laughing at the two of us. You know what? I don't even think he really expects us to succeed.
I say we will.
Me too, out of spite.
Such enthusiasm! I've never seen a king so well received.
Believe it or not, if he has his way, the kingdom's best days are still ahead of us.
Oh, I believe it. Roland is in the hands of a true visionary.
It's good to have you back, Your Majesty. We've been anxious to hear about the situation in Zoyoa.
It is a nightmare there, Kalne. Their lands are so ravaged by floodwaters, I fear even the tariff exemption will do them no good. Speaking of which, have you adjusted the annual budget accordingly?
Yes, sir.
How fares the capital?
No problems to speak of, sir. Though predictably enough, Klausbear and Steri took advantage of your recent travels. They've been spreading their seditious malice everywhere they can find an ear.
Nothing unusual. Clow, what of the health of our vassal states now?
Right out of the gate. Look, with all due respect, Your Highness, people have been known to rest after a long journey.
I'll afford that luxury when Roland is stable. Far too much depends on my continued vigilance for me to rest. A moment's lapse would deliver this kingdom right back into the hands of the greedy power brokers we prided from.
You're right, I know. Just think of how delighted they'll all be when you topple over from exhaustion. Your work ethic's as much an inspiration to your enemies as it is to the people.
I agree. I think that's an effective, if somewhat homespun way to frame the issue.
I'm trying to make a point!
Yes, I'm aware of that. And for the record, I think it's a point that merits closer consideration. Sion, please. We are all here to help you. Even Clow is useful after a fashion.
Do you hold some grudge against the way I operate?
Only you could think my willingness to tidy up after your numerous social faux pas bore the markings of resentment. Did I complain when your dalliance with the noble's daughter forced me to play damage control?
Oh, that really hits bone, coming from someone whose secret rendezvous with Lord Pearl's wife everyone in the castle knows about.
A report from a Nelfin squadron leader, sir. It appears our friends are wandering the borderlands at the moment.
My private life is my own.
Are they indeed? Good hunting to them.
Is this the place?
According to my notes, yeah. Of course, the thing about this door... Hey!
It looks like it's sealed shut.
I was getting to that. This is a tricky one. The binding spell's been fortified by decoys that have to be disarmed in just the proper sequence.
Duck!
Huh? You could give me the courtesy of a better warning before you try and scout me! Okay, that's one less trap we have to worry about. So tired. Tomb raiding is definitely not a profession I'm interested in exploring.
Well, it doesn't involve spying on voluptuous women or luring innocent young girls to their ruin, so of course you're going to feel a bit out of your depth.
I'm not into any of that stuff.
Save the act for your prey.
Is something wrong, Captain?
Look out. Get out of the way!
What the hell?
Behind you. How much warning do you need?
You are so dead when I find a way out of it!
This doesn't bode well, does it?
Show Klaus Bear's crest. Be strong, Miss Lena.
Prepare to answer for what you've done!
Hey, you're not...
Out of the carriage, runt! Someone scraped the bottom of a very large barrel hiring you.
I failed.
With my brother at my side, how can I not be joyful?
I deserve death. Just as well. Life without my sister is no life.
Your sister?
Selena. Only this morning, Count Klaus Bear swooped down and snatched her away. He's a noble, above answering to the likes of me. And without a Selena, I choose to leave this ugly world to itself.
You would leave your sister to negotiate the darkness alone?
Sienna Stahl. Your Majesty.
I know what it is to be pitched headlong into a hostile world not of your own making. But evil flourishes less of its own animus than by our conviction that things cannot change. So by accepting death short of seeing justice done, you let corruption thrive.
But
if true change is to come, people like you and I must be its harbingers.
You're not fooling anyone. Playing dead will get you nowhere.
Not cool! I could have been...
Oh, angry butterflies!
Who are you?
Well then, since the jig is up, introductions are in order. My name, sir, is Milk Collard. I am the decorated lieutenant captain of Roland's fierce and illustrious Taboo Breaker Squadron. And you are none other than our quarry, a Taboo Breaker. The integrity of Roland's magic spells will be saved! This always happens.
I don't know about you, Ferris, but I'm starving.
You know, Donga would be the perfect antidote to the air in this place.
No, you don't! I'm putting you under compulsory restraint! What I seek is thunder! Easy! Don't think I don't understand! That sadistic trollop has fiendishly ensnared you by her wiles! It's obvious!
Huh?
Believe in yourself! You can break free of her! I'll whisk you away to safety!
I see. This little firebrand wouldn't happen to be one of your many victims now, would she? Someone you took advantage of and left for dead?
Enough with the perv thing!
Hey, wait! I haven't been taken advantage of!
Oh, so she gave herself to you willingly. My mistake.
Nothing happened!
This is not some joke! I didn't want to resort to this, but you forced my hand! What I seek is thunder!
You mustn't wander off alone like that. You had us all worried about you, Captain. Okay?
I apologize.
It's a good thing we found you when we did.
The Alpha Stigma's having trouble reading its structure. But this is definitely a relic.
I guess that. How do we subdue it?
I don't know. I told you, I can't make it out.
Great. Useful.
There's no call to be snarky! Ferris!
What?
Run like your life depended on it!
What does it look like I'm doing?
Lena! I
Everything's all right now. I'm with you.
Their parents were killed in the last war. They've been living by their wits ever since. I cringe to think how many like them the king created.
Former king. Grasping as he was, our late patriarch was only a scarecrow, figurehead. As long as the nobles feel entitled to glut their coffers at the state's expense, so shall every king be.
Good evening, Your Majesty. I trust your journey was pleasant.
Quite so, Count Klausbaer.
Have you chanced to find the gift I left for you in your chambers?
I have.
No more than a common wildflower, to be sure, but plucked in the boon of health. I welcome your highness to prune it as you desire.
And indeed I shall. I'm most grateful for the gesture of solidarity. A newly christened sovereign is above all judged by the manner of company he keeps.
Then so may shrewdly forged loyalty serve you and the kingdom, sir.
To Roland's prosperity. Filth.
So now what? You think this relic is officially a lost cause?
That sounds like a safe assessment, yeah.
Fine, then let's move on.
Right, we can leave the cleanup to the slave-driving kings. Wait, how long have you been wearing that?
Oh, I picked it up in the ruins.
Don't just walk away from a tomb with costume jewelry. Are you kidding me?
So that's what one of your relics is supposed to do.
This is pretty serious. I mean, look at that... mountain?
What's done is done. Moving on.
Wish I could be that calm. I think.
Someone's still kicking! No, it's all right. You go on ahead, Ferris. I'll catch up with you as soon as I'm done here.
If you think about it, we wouldn't have gotten very far if deep down people weren't just as loath to kill as they are to die. War forces them to choose one over the other. Highborn or low, no one wants to sow misery, not really. They just don't see an option. When our back's against the wall, the best of us see things in black and white. I've never put much stock in changing the world. But I have to admit, things can't continue the way they are. If kill or die is the only choice, it's time to expand our options.
Poring over it again.
I am.
You see through it. It's but a monster's bid to quell his troubled soul with sweet, empty little words. Just a fairy tale.
I'm going to do it. I will. I'll be king of this land someday, and I'll change everything. I'll create the peaceful world you've always dreamt about. All you have to do is want to be a part of it.